Good morning and welcome to episode 23 of Reconnect TV. I can't believe it's episode 23 already. The weeks just seem to fly by. And yeah, I have another guest expert today. I'm really excited about that. I have Natalia joining me, who's a wellness specialist. So she'll be coming online soon. And we're going to be talking about what it means to be a well woman and all this. So many of us here are into personal development to achieve success, to achieve the things that we want to do in life. And self-care and looking after ourselves is a fundamental component of that, and having values and surrounding yourself with the people that you like and who support you. So yeah, I'm really excited to get Natalia on. If she's online, can you just put a hi, Natalia? Because my phone doesn't seem to add people from viewers. It likes to see a little face pop up and then I can add you from there. So yeah, hopefully Natalia will be joining us in a minute. So yeah, this is episode 23 of Reconnect TV. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Faye Semple and I'm the spiritual geomancer to successful female entrepreneurs, leaders and change makers. So my field is really in the realm of helping women connect to the universal mind, the universal consciousness. And I do that through a staged process of working with earth energies, working with all sorts of phenomena around us, but also realizing that those energies are not just sort of static components. They actually have a consciousness themselves. So, for instance, I'll work with water under people's properties and we'll work with the consciousness of that water, and we'll invite the water nymph to work with us on our emotions and the emotional element of our business. I'll work with the yang energy of that, and I'll yin energy, sorry, and I'll also work with earth energies, the yang element, the sort of fire and dragon elements, the energy lines, because they bring force and drive to our business. And not only do they sort of energize the landscape, they can energize us, they can energize our purpose. And it's working in collaborative relationships with those is really one of the fundamentals of what I do, which is a foreign concept to most people. A lot of people aren't familiar with these things. So, but accessing the sort of realm of spirit, everything has a guide, a diva, an elemental. It has a consciousness of its own. And we've kind of lost sight in that in modern society. So I'm on a mission, if you like, to bring that in, to sort of help people see the divinity in everything around them, in themselves and in the natural world, to redress this balance of masculine and feminine in society. I don't mean not solely between men and women, obviously that's a big thing as well, but also to redress the imbalance in the divine masculine and divine feminine. So as I say, Natalia, if you're watching, if you could just comment hi, and then your little icon will pop up, because my phone doesn't like to see, it says there's no viewers yet, and yet I can see people are online. So if you are here, if you can put a hi in the comments and I'll join you, because I can't actually see who's, for some reason it's not showing who's joined me. So if you're watching live, you put hashtag live. If you're watching on replay, put hashtag replay. And if you can let me know whereabouts you are, because I've been really interested to see who's been logging in and who's been watching things and who's been commenting, because it's amazing where our voice gets on social media. It's amazing how far we attract people from. And so I always like to see where things have got to. So yeah, so we're just still waiting for Natalia at the moment. We have scheduled this, so hopefully she's going to be joining us in a minute. She might maybe have a hiccup. So, oh, hi, Daphne. Hi. So, yeah, so we're going to be talking to Natalia as soon as she joins us, if she can comment. But yeah, so I can talk a little bit more about geomancy for those people who are interested in that, because actually that's the fundamental of what I do. So we are, for instance, affected by all sorts of forces around us. Let me see, I can't see viewers. I think Natalia might be there, but it's still telling me there's no viewers to invite. If you are there, Natalia, if you could just type an actual hi in the comments, and then your icon will clock up in the comments and I can see you. But at the moment, nothing's coming up, unfortunately. This happened to me last week as well. So yes, while we're doing that, I'll just talk a little bit more about spiritual geomancy for a minute. In that what I do is I connect women to these other forms of consciousness that are out there, the consciousness of water, the consciousness of the earth energies, the sylphs in the air, because not only do they govern that kind of element, why they're called elementals, they also govern the sort of etheric property of that. So, for instance, sylphs in the air are also strongly connected to light photons. There she is. I can add you now. And communication, strangely enough, but I'll be talking about that another time. So let me just bring Natalia on camera. It says adding. That was a remarkable bit of filling on my part, I thought there. I did keep calm. Last week I had tremendous problems bringing my guest on, Melanie. It must have taken us about half an hour. Facebook was just not happening, just didn't want to. It says it's adding. It's adding. And there we are. Hello.
I am so sorry. I've had just like serious technological issues this morning for me. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, I had those. I was saying I had those with my guest last week, and then I couldn't get my guest on last week at all. It took us about half an hour. We had to keep going, really sorry, we've got to log off and try again. And then I was a guest of somebody else in the evening. Exactly the same thing happened. She couldn't get me onto her feed as well. We were like, oh no. We were laughing and blaming Mercury's retrograde, but actually I was blaming Facebook underneath.
I blame the Mercury retrograde as well.
So how are you? Are you keeping well?
I'm really well, yes. I'm in Malaga City. I was here for a little event this morning, so sorry if it's a bit loud, but I'm doing really well. I'm just loving this time of year.
It is. It's kind of I was saying about from geomancy, the autumn is the time of year where we actually get the harvest in from all our hard work. So we start to reap the rewards in, because that's what's happening around us anyway. So yeah, I love this time of year because you kind of feel like you really do see the benefits of what you've done. And if you're not getting them, it actually draws attention to what you haven't done.
Absolutely.
Where do you need to pull your socks up? Yeah. So for those people who don't know, sorry, my shoes just fallen off. For those people who don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about what you do?
Of course. So, hey everybody. Thanks for having me, Faye, by the way. I'm a life strategist and a certified wellness coach. And I love helping entrepreneurial women get to where they feel they want to be. Because a lot of us, we feel like we're not where we should be. And that comes with a whole lot of challenges in terms of, mindset wise to health and wellness. But it's really I'm all about wellness for wealth. So it's about getting healthy on the inside out. It's about getting clear on who you are and what you want. And really taking that, I'm going to use this buzzword, like holistic approach to life. Because generally speaking, when we don't feel well, like for whatever negative feeling you want to attach to that, it's usually when we're not progressing, or when we feel lost, or when we feel unsure. And so that's really where I like to step in and help people really step into their power, to really get clear on what they want, who they are, and really get, healthy from the inside out and build those success habits, so that you can get to where you want to be and you feel like you're where you should be, and all that stuff comes just naturally.
Comes to fruition.
Fruition.
Comes to fruition. Yeah, because our as you say, unless we're healthy and well on the inside, emotionally and the mindset, we're not going to go anywhere, are we? And in the end up, those energies, if you like, from my point of view, of unprocessed emotion, will actually drag us down. It's not even that they sit there dormant; they can eventually manifest as illness and ill health and really poor circumstances. So it's really important that we address that real deep inner stuff. And I see it sat in energy fields and chakras and stuff. So, and we've all got it. I mean, I look down at myself some days, like I did this morning. I went, oh dearie me. But we're always a work in progress, aren't we? But it's
100%.
Yeah. So how did you get to be this? Was it through your own struggles and your own difficulties that you realised you had to dig deep?
Yeah, it definitely was. And, like I've always been a high achiever. I've always been pushed to go to, get good education. And, education has always been really important in my family, I guess you could say. Not to say that there's so many successful people out there I don't say without it, because life is an educational experience on its own.
Oh, yeah. More so than the degree, yes.
Right? So, I always was striving to, be the best. Check off all of those, check boxes, if you will. Go to university, get a good job, find a husband, get married, have kids, and, dot. And it was working for me for a great time. Like I got into a corporate job in wealth management, and I loved it. I had such great experience, such great opportunities, and I was really growing. And I sort of started to get restless, and I thought I would go back to school and get an MBA and my CPA, because I thought I love the management and the strategy piece of it, not so much the accounting piece, but I love the management and the strategy. And I really thought that's what I wanted and what I needed to get to that next level. So fast forward like 4 years after I finished that degree while working full time. And about 2 years after, I think I just hit this, like, what they call the rock bottom, where I just checked out. I was like, what? Oh, what am I? Why? I didn't recognize myself anymore. I was like, where is this? I didn't feel successful anymore. I felt like a total fraud. I was like, what am I doing here? How did I get to this point? Like, I just pictured my life differently, I guess. And I think it was just calling to me for more. And that's when I really started to feel unwell and feel stuck and feel lost, because there were all these things coming up inside me where it was like, hey, you're ready for next level, but you're not living next level. Like, you're just coasting, if you will. That's how I felt anyway. And so I decided to take a sabbatical. And I put myself first. I was like, what are all the things that Nat wants to do? And during that journey, I actually got a wellness coaching certification, because that's how I roll. I just love learning, as you can tell. But it was because I myself needed a reset, because I was super tired. I had no energy. I was super down on myself, every little thing. And it was manifesting, as you said, in energy or lack thereof. And it was affecting all of my areas of life, my relationships, my career, my mindset, finances, even. Like, it was just really negatively impacted me. And so when I went on this journey I got the wellness coaching certification more for myself. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was going to kind of end up the way it did, in terms of manifesting into a different career and life strategy and all this other stuff. And it's been a wonderful, incredible journey. But that's kind of how I got into it, was because I needed my own reset. And stepping into that person that I wanted to become, and taking ownership of my life and getting back into, like, the CEO position of my life, if you will, and really just knowing how much in control you are of your outcomes without being in control, if that makes sense. Because I mean, we can't control everything, life happens, but there's so much that you can control in terms of your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own goals. Who it is you are and what it is you want. Like, that is something that you can control, even though sometimes we feel like we can't.
Yeah, I think the can't often comes from, it's not can't, it's I don't want to. I don't want to, because those changes are too difficult. They mean I'm going to have to deal with all these people, all these circumstances, and change who I am. And then there's obviously the universe has to change around you. And are people willing to do it? Are circumstances
Yeah.
willing to do it? 'Cause some people just want you to stay where you are, don't they? Because they like you being where you are. It suits them. But ultimately, and I think women particularly are brought up to bow to that pressure, if I'm honest. I think we are. I think we're brought up to often put ourselves second, to be the caregivers, to look after everybody else. Which of course is, you're ended up in a self-fulfilling prophecy of disaster then, aren't you? Because you lose yourself, and you
Yeah.
can't help your family, and you can't contribute well to relationships and your career. As you say, if you've not got those strong boundaries and strong personal identity about what you want from the situation, because we all have wants and needs, everybody does. It's about understanding how we can create a life that enables us to do that and sort of flows. So yeah, we're not in control of situation. Like you say, life happens all the time, but we are in control of so much. And I think that all this new, not new, but the whole wave in personal development, I think, is empowering so many people nowadays to say enough is enough. So Do you feel that? Do you feel that's where your sort of clients are coming from? They've kind of gone, whoa, I can be so much more than I currently am if I just actually invest that time and energy in developing myself.
Yeah, 100%. It's like it's almost like this little voice is getting louder and louder to the point where people can't, at least the people that come to me, they're like, I can't ignore this anymore, and I don't know where it's coming
Mm,
from, and it's kind of scary, and I don't know if that means that I should leave, because a lot of people that come to me, they're in corporate because they've seen my journey. They've seen like, oh, how did she go from like corporate to entrepreneurship? I mean,
mm,
and I was in there for over 10 years, and I myself thought I was a lifer, and there's nothing wrong with being a lifer in corporate. Like sometimes I'm like, I think I should go back because it was so much easier. No, but just kidding. Um, but it's so much more rewarding, like, and it's cliche and it's corny, but like greater risk, greater reward, and that's how I feel.
mm,
And I used to be very risk averse, um, and that was one of the things that surprised me about me kind of coming into where I'm going. And it surprises a lot of people that come to me. They're like, well, I think I'm ready, but I'm not sure. And I don't know what that looks like. So it's like helping you take that leap, helping
mm.
you give yourself permission to just explore. It's not even like you have to have all the answers right away. And I think
No.
that's what a lot of people, in my experience, a lot of my clients that come to me from the first get go, they're like, I want to get crystal. Like I don't like feeling so unsure anymore, or like, I feel like I don't have direction, or and when we do the work, we start doing the work. It's like it's funny because it's like this light bulb comes up where it's like I'm on a journey. It's okay to feel like this. Like
Mm,
it's okay to be this way for now and not forever. Maybe, and it's okay if I want to start a business, like I can start a business. So you have these things where it's like it's a lot of fear that comes in, um, where people are like, well, I don't know, but if you just decide, if you just make a choice, and that's what I love helping people with. It's like let's work towards making better choices, more informed choices, because everything starts with intention, but intention
mm.
starts with getting clear, and that takes ownership. That takes responsibility. Like you have to be responsible for yourself, for your actions, for your thoughts, for all your
Yep.
goals. Like no one's going to do it for you. And I think
No.
that's where a lot of people find value in, working with coaches and mentors. I mean, I certainly have, because it just gives you that permission to explore without
Yes.
feeling like without feeling like you're stuck, and without feeling like you have to be doing it a certain way, or you're doing it wrong, or whatever, like whatever stories you want to tell yourself, right?
Yeah, because there are no right answers, and we'll never have them all. And it doesn't really matter what action you take, does it? As long as you're taking some. And like you say, and as long as you're taking responsibility for, well, this is my reality, and actually I've created that, but I can create any other reality that I want. Because ultimately, like I said, you're not in control of every day how everything manifests, but generally you're in control of, I want to do X in my life, and that's what I want to do. And then the universe sort of pops things in front of you, don't you, roughly speaking, that's going to get you where you want to go. But it can only do that when you take that action. And as I said, that's about pushing through fear often, isn't it? Because people um, often I've seen people want it all mapped out first. So they know exactly where they're going to go. So they can jump off this nice mapped life that isn't working into another nice mapped life that they hope will work. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. As you say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You have to venture out there and have that faith and go, it's going to work. It's going to work. I'm bound to have some rough days and some down days and days where I go, oh my God, what have I done? But, we can pull through it if you just, it is all mindset. It is all that inner energy and inner conviction, isn't it? That I can do this. I have it in me to
Yeah,
do it.
100%. And I think you said something really important there, which was certainty. And, one of the things that, like, I've worked with Tony Robbins, and one of the things that he says or he talks about is this like circular, this circle of success. So you have potential, which everyone has. I wish I had a diagram, but you have potential, you have
I know this
action.
diagram. Yeah, yeah.
You know it, right?
Yeah, I
Action. You
know
have
this diagram. Yeah.
results, and you have certainty. So it's like, okay, you got to. Everyone has potential. Everyone can take action. It's the results piece that sometimes catches people because they're like, okay, well, it's not working out. So then they take it personally. Then they get emotional about it, and then they're no longer certain. But it's this certainty that's this like progress. That's like the momentum that you need.
Yeah.
That's the like, I don't care what results I'm getting. I just have to take those results and do something better next time to get the results. So it's this constant like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just if you're so, and I think that's where the clarity and the goal setting comes in. That's why it's so powerful. It's like if you just take the time to learn what works for you, A, but B, like have some really good structure to your goals and that inner connection, mind, body, and soul in terms of like who you are, what you want, and your plan, yes, it will evolve. And yes, it's not going to go as planned, but you have to have a plan, right? Or else it's just a
Mm.
wish. That's what I can't remember who said that quote, but like you see it everywhere. Like if it's not a plan, it's just a dream. Like
It's just a wish. Yeah, it is. It's like New Year's resolutions. It's just like next year I'm going to lose a load of weight. It's like, no, you're going to lose how much weight by when? What are you going to eat and how often are you going to exercise? That's a plan. Not I'm just going to miraculously end up 2 stone thinner by the end of the year. That's not a plan. That's an aspiration, but that's about it. So yeah, I think, and it's also like you say, it's having that getting to that results section and having that uncertainty is when people are inclined to go, oh look, it hasn't worked, and let their fear override them, when going, actually what I did then hasn't worked, so I have certainty now that that doesn't work. That's my certainty. So now I have to develop and go into doing something, and I'll see what the results are there are and take the certainty from that. And as I say, it's the same with anything business marketing, isn't it? You
yeah,
try one tactic, it doesn't work. You don't go, that's it, the business isn't working. You try another marketing strategy and another marketing strategy and another outlet, and you just keep trying, 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 trying. And sooner or later, you'll get results. And yeah, it
yeah.
can be a bit hit and miss to start with, but as long as you're doing something, it's better than doing nothing.
Absolutely. And I think that's where that's where I see the most growth with my clients. It's where I always see the most growth with myself is when I'm persistent. It's when I have
Mm,
that momentum. It's when I have the metrics in place. It's when I take out the emotion. It's when I
mm.
myself am in peak state, when I am high vibe, when when I feel so unstoppable that nothing can stop me. Like that's what it's all about. Like,
That
and
that feeling,
oh,
yeah.
like there's nothing like that feeling that like I can do anything,
That
and
it's
no
that
one's
it's that in the
gonna.
zone, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's moments where everything you go right. You think right now, do you know, I could just step on a surfboard and I'd be able to surf. I've never surfed in my life before, but I know I'd be ruddy good at it today.
like brilliantly good.
Yeah, yeah, brilliantly good. I'd just wipe the floor with everybody.
So I feel like how my skiing is gonna improve this year.
It will, it will. But yeah, but it is that certainty, isn't it? That certainty then energetically in our energy field completely transforms our energy sensors, and the light photons with which we communicate to the universe. They all change property when we have that certainty. So then the universe can then respond to that certainty and give us what we want. So it's really interesting phenomenon. I mean, people talk about a lot of this stuff as woo, and it's not woo at all. It's real deep science. So yeah, I love all this. I do, because we've all had it, haven't we? Days where we've gone, why on earth has this happened? To think, well, where did I create that? How
Yeah,
did I bring this upon myself? What was my thinking?
yeah,
And it is about living consciously, isn't it? It's noticing those negative patterns that you might not even be aware of that are playing out in your subconscious mind. It's really worth listening to how you speak to yourself and the things you say. I often talk out loud for that reason. If I can feel I'm going into a negative vibe, I sit here and I talk out loud to myself, because then I can hear what I'm saying. I'll catch myself saying things and go, ooh, did you really just say that? because where did that come from? And then you can, then I'll write or I'll do gamma hertz, reprogram the brain and go into all that kind of thing to reprogram it. But yeah, it's interesting, the different techniques we can have to reprogram ourselves to work through fear.
Yeah. And to lift our frequency, like to the
Yeah,
energy thing is so big. Um, and I don't think people realize it. And
no,
it's everything from like our external environment to our internal environment that
mm,
have an impact on that. And I always like to start with, well, what impacts our health directly? Like, let's start with like the food you're eating, how much water you
mm,
drinking, all that stuff. And
mm,
then it's about going into the outer layer, if you will, like, okay, well, let's look at what our relationships are like. Who's in our lives that maybe are no longer serving us, or who are serving us, or maybe we need more of. Like surrounding yourself with like people that are, above and beyond, or like at your
mm,
level, if you will. Um, but it's all connected, and
yeah,
there are so many tools and techniques that are out there. It's just about finding, or understanding, what it is that you need, and seeking that guidance either through a course or a book or a coach or a mentor or
mm,
whatever, to help you get over that and get out of your own way so that you
mm.
can go on to achieve like next level success. It's exciting.
Definitely. I know in the past I've got in my own way so much, it was unbelievable. And then you look around and think, what a mess am I in? And then it can come as a bit of a shock to realize you've created it all yourself. But then you've got
Yeah.
the opportunity to do something about it. I think that moment of self-realization is important, not to break yourself. It's not to go, oh God, look what you've created. It's actually to go, yeah, look what you've created. So therefore you can create anything. You can create brilliance if you want to. You've just got to keep going. So with that in mind, are you going to be sharing some tips and little helpful things to take away with the group tomorrow, about things people could do today to go how to change your vibe, everything like you're saying about looking at how much water you're in, but just some helpful hints and tips that people could take away with them tomorrow. And in the group. This will be in my group, Divine Feminine CEOs, tomorrow at 12. We'll be having Natalia back. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. And in the meantime, if you've got, a link to your group or anything you want to share, if you could put it in the comments below,
For sure.
that would be great. So yeah,
Awesome.
awesome. Yeah, it's been really lovely to talk to you and catch up. Oh, look at my hair. Really lovely to talk to you and catch up with you. Um, bright light. Don't like bright lights. So yeah, so we'll continue this conversation then tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Sounds
enjoy
great.
the rest of your event. If you've got more to do today, have you where you are, or have you finished?
No, that's it for me today. It was just in the morning. I really hope it wasn't too loud for you here, for
No,
anyone
it's fine. I
listening.
could hear it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna make my way back and do some fun things. But I'm excited to be back tomorrow and sharing some
yeah,
awesome tips. If anyone does have any, if you're listening right now and you have something specific that is challenging, drop it in the comments as well, because then the tips tomorrow will be that much more relevant for you. But they'll be good anyway.
brilliant. All right then. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will speak
Thanks.
to you tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
toodles.
Bye.
Bye.